This is a recap for Tuesday, February 2nd. So we started working on Cami week 17, last week's Cami, um, yesterday, and then we continue working on it today. So we're on page 3 today, and let me highlight some answers here. So the height of a telephone pole is about 60 feet, and let me zoom in here a little closer. And the length of a minivan is about 5 yards, although that seems a little long. And the mass of a tack is a gram. You wouldn't really be able to feel a milligram in your hand if you picked it up. Time to walk a mile, it'd be 15 minutes. 15 seconds would be about 240 miles an hour. And this is an interesting question because it's a little dated. It's probably 10 years old when the answer used to be 7 pounds, but now I think it's closer to 7 ounces. It's kind of interesting. What we did on these conversions is we made a table, kind of like from the video that we watched yesterday and today. And so I'm going to draw a table and put the conversion factor in the table. Whoops, let's maybe undo that one and write it a little bit better. So we're going to put inches on the top of this table and feet on the bottom. So we know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. And we could continue this, like 2 feet is going to be 24 inches, 3 feet is going to be 36 inches, and so on. 4 feet is 48 inches. So we make this table 5 feet is 60 inches. But then we have to get to 10 feet. So we're going to have to make kind of a break in our table, like we cut out a bunch and we skipped up to 10. And we want to figure out what goes right there. Well, there's 2 ways to look at the chart. One way to look at the chart is vertically. So how do I get from 12 to 1, or how do I get from 1 to 12? So since I'm given the bottom, that's the direction I'm interested in, is how do I get from 1 to 12? So that's going to be multiplied by 12. And all of these are multiplied by 12. So a table of equivalent ratios are all going to have the same multiplier from the bottom to the top, or from the top to the bottom. And so this is going to be times 12. So 10 times 12 is 120 inches. So we could do another table. For tons and pounds. So I could put pounds or lbs on the top and tons on the bottom. So 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, and 2 is 4,000 pounds. And if you're wondering where I get that information, there is on the stream today a chart that has conversion factors. So 3 is going to be 6,000 pounds, and 4 is going to be 8,000 pounds. And what we need is this one right here, 2, so that's going to be 4,000. So the factor to get from tons to pounds is to multiply by 2,000. We'll do another one, this time from centimeters to meters. So here's the table. And the idea of the table is just to have enough of the table so you see the pattern, so you can go to any part of the table, even if it's not a part that's currently visible. So I'm going to put centimeters on the top, meters on the bottom, and there are 100 centimeters to every 1 meter. And this part right here is really important. Somebody in class said, so we have to have at least one part of the table that has both the top and the bottom, and that's true. We need what's called this mathematical relationship, that this is divided by 100, and the inverse of that is this is multiplied by 100. So every one of them, that's going to be true for. So if I have 2 meters, that's 200 centimeters, and 3 is 300 centimeters. But we need to skip right up to 1200. So 1200 is how many meters? So I'm going to use the divided by, so 100 divided by 100 is 1, so we're going to do 12 divided by 100, so, or 1200 divided by 100, and that's equal to 12. So that's how we get to 12. So there are shortcuts to this, and the shortcut is if you're going from a small number, or excuse me, a small unit like centimeters to a larger unit like meters, you're going to divide by the factor, and you need to know that factor. If you're going from a large unit to a small unit, you're going to multiply. So millimeters are smaller than centimeters, and it's 10 to 1. There's 10 millimeters equal 1 centimeter. So we're going from small to large. That means that we're going to divide. So 50 divided by this 10 right here equals 5. So that's going to be 5 centimeters. That's as far as we got on the Kami today. I do want to pull up the Desmos that we worked on. So we're going to look at the Desmos called Balloon Float. And we worked on that for a little while today. So I'll just go to period 1's Balloon Float. And we'll just go to just not a particular student, but just any student, like what it looks like. So the first thing you do is watch this video. It's only 8 seconds long.
Lifted by helium balloons. A Calgary man flew upward into the sky last night on a chair.
So you just put your thoughts on here. So students shared everything from why would he do that to how does that work? And then we'll go to the next card. And so you're going to, it says fly high with balloons. Flying high with balloons is dangerous. We'll figure out how many balloons it would take to safely float a person instead. So instead of going up, they want to just to have you float, not go down, not go up, just floating. So first we'll start with lifting similar or smaller objects. How many balloons does it take to make a duck safely float? So you hit try, and you notice that a bunch of balloons goes up, 1 goes down, but 4 of them stays exactly floating. So it's going to be 4 balloons for 4 balloons for 1 duck. But it turns out that a duck is 56 grams. So we want to know, well, how many grams would 1 balloon float? So we're going to make a table that looks like this. And here we have balloons, and here we have grams. And I'll put 1 balloon, 2, 3, 4. And 4 balloons is 1 duck, which is 56 grams. And so this is going to have a divisor or multiplier. 4 times something is 50 equals 56, or 56 divided by something equals 4. Turns out that number is 14. So we can divide, we can think on this one right here, 14 divided by 14 equals 1. So it's going to be 14 grams. So that's what we're going to try. So 14 grams, we're going to hit submit, and then it balances perfectly. So this is, you see the picture of the 14 gram weight. And then this table, we are going to try to find a multiplier. So 14 or a divider. So we can go either direction, but I'm going to go this direction because I'm given this 350. So I'm going to go this way. So that's going to be 14 divided by 14 is equal to 1. 56 divided by 14 is equal to 4. So 350 divided by 14 is going to give me this answer. And it turns out that's 25. And then we go to the next one and we try it out. So we're going to put 25 right here. And if we would have put 24, watch what happens. It's just not quite enough balloons and it sinks. If we put up 26, watch what happens. It's too many balloons and it flies away. So that's what we did today. And we also watched the rest of the ratios video. I'll show you where that is in case you're watching this and you want to get caught up. You could go to classwork and you could go to this week's quiz and sign in to the quiz that is always due every Tuesday, and then the video that we watched was the rest of this ratio and ratio tables.
Welcome to Anywhere Math. I'm Jeff Jacobson, and today
we already watched some of that yesterday, and so if you want to go up to about 7 minutes and then watch the rest of it, that's what we did. Take notes on that. And that is the recap for Tuesday, February 2nd.